My fiance and I recently finished reading George Orwell's 1984. 1984 is a pretty classic tale that apparently everyone but me has read. I didn't have to read it for school or anything like that, so I kind of missed the boat on this particular novel, and it's the only Orwell I've read thus far. The world Orwell creates is called Oceania, and the story follows the intimate thoughts of the character Winston Smith. The party, along with its figurehead Big Brother, have created an ideology in which any opposition, real or imagined, can and will be silenced. Winston Smith works for the Outer Party in the Ministry of Truth. His main responsibilities include historical revisionism, which is a huge theme throughout the book. The book is divided into 3 parts. Each part is incredibly different in terms of pace. For the first 100 pages, I found myself wondering what on earth was happening in this book and what was going to happen, what sort of narrative was going to happen. I thought I was going to simply be reading the intimate thoughts of this one character for the next few hundred pages. The book itself deals with several immense themes, including people's ability to rule, humanity and corruption, and metaphysical quandaries. This book is an excellent read, especially for people that love a dystopian backdrop to their stories. I'd also recommend this book for anyone who has any interest in Marx theory and communist theory. One of the subtle benefits of reading this book was that I feel that my vocabulary expanded considerably, and I actually read it out loud with my fiance. We would take turns reading a chapter to one another, and I found that it was actually really helpful. It was kind of a frustrating process, but it was really helpful because there were certain words, and I don't know if I could just flip the book open and find one, but there would be certain words in pretty much every chapter that I read, and they just weren't particularly common words. It wasn't difficult language to read, but the fact that I had to read them out loud to somebody, I couldn't just kind of skip past. I don't know if anyone else does this, but when there's a word that you think you kind of know, you just kind of skip past it and you're like, yeah, based on the context of this sentence, I think I know what's going on. I think the amazing thing about this book is that it exposes readers to a very fresh way of looking at very old ideologies, and the fact that it was written so long ago and represents elements of the world that we live in today, I think that's also very intriguing. It's also a great analysis on the ways in which we are governed and the ways in which we try and govern ourselves, or rather, the ways in which we don't bother trying to govern ourselves. I think because this book is split up into 3 parts, it creates an intense and very rich story, and it's the kind of story that I don't feel that you see in a lot of books nowadays. I think that there's a lot of trend towards making series and making trilogies, and by doing that you get to create this rich world because you've got a book deal and you're able to emphasize thoughts and narratives over a long period of time, whereas this is a single book and he has to tell his story within these pages. If you haven't read this book, definitely pick it up and check it out. I was one of the few people that hadn't read it up until my mid-20s, and now I'm not that person anymore, so don't be that guy. The world created in this book is called Oceania, I think. And it's a good book. You should read it. I'm not doing a very good job explaining.